3 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Is everybody ready to go? Okay. Before we hear the first case, I have an introduction and the guidelines for which the meeting is conducted today. This is a public hearing, and we are the Zoning Board of Adjustments for Putnam County, Florida. We operate under the authority of Articles 11 and 12 of the Land Development Code as amended. The primary responsibility of the board is to hear and decide appeals challenging final determinations made by the Planning and Development Services Department under the Land Development Code, and to hear and act upon requests for variances, special use permits, non-conforming use determinations, and preliminary development plans under the Land Development Code. Today we only have a special use permit, so I am omitting the variance section. A special use permit is special permission to use property in a fashion which the zoning classification of the property does not automatically permit. If we grant a special use permit, we may impose reasonable conditions on the use of the property, which must be satisfied if the special use permit is to remain valid. Unlike a change in the zoning classification, as a general rule, a special use permit applies only to the specific use requested in the application for a special use permit. The standards we use in deciding whether or not to grant a special use permit are listed in Section 45-1083 of the Land Development Code. Procedurally, we will call each case by name and number. A member of the staff will then briefly explain to us the nature of each request. We will then take any comments from the applicant or their representative, followed by any public comments concerning the request. Please direct all comments or statements to the board and not to other people in the audience. Before speaking, we will ask each person to be recognized, come forward to the lectern, and identify his or herself by name and address. After all persons wishing to speak have been heard, we will entertain a motion from the board. This motion will be voted on by the board members and become our final order. Any decision made by this board can be appealed to the circuit court. However, any appeal must be filed within 30 days after the Board of Adjustments has rendered the final order which is being appealed. Are there any questions? Okay, before the first case is heard, all those wishing to speak need to be sworn in, so will the notary please administer the oath. I'm sorry?
What'd she say?
I thought we had to swear in everybody. Okay, the first case today is Special Use Permit 21-009.
The applicant is Paul and Beth Murphy of Murphy Family Trust. The agent is Bruce Liddy of Miners Marine Construction. The request is for a second boathouse under 600 square feet. The location is 138 Riverside Drive, Satsuma. The zoning district is residential 1A, R1A. Future land use is rural residential. The parcel size is 0.65 acres. The property is located with flood zone AE5. This is an aerial of the property. As you can see, that there's a canal on one side and then the river on the back. The future land use and the zoning. This is the special flood hazard area. The special use permit. It is, per section 45-1083 of the Land Development Code, the ZBOA is to evaluate the application and make a determination based on the following findings of fact. The use is consistent with the comprehensive plan and meets all concurrency requirements. A detailed statement of the facts and policies demonstrating compliance or non-compliance shall be included in the final development order. Recreation-based activities are consistent with the Putnam County Comprehensive Plan, future land use categories. The Land Development Code, section 45-110-2A, defines that a boathouse as a structure where personal recreational watercraft is stored. The use is allowed as a special use in the zoning district in which the property is located and conforms to all applicable regulations in code and zoning district in which it's proposed. The section 45-110-2I of the Land Development Code specifically states that there shall be only one boathouse per lot or parcel unless a special use permit or development agreement approved by the Board of County Commissioners allows for more than one. A boathouse is permitted within the residential 1A R1A zoning district. A second boathouse is permitted via special use permit. The special use will not adversely impact or unduly restrict the enjoyment of the permitted uses in the surrounding area. The surrounding land uses are residential and contain docks and boathouses. The existing single-family dwelling and with an additional boathouse is consistent with the surrounding land uses and will not unduly restrict the enjoyment of the permitted uses in the area. The special use will not substantially diminish or impair property values in the area, nor impede the orderly development improvement of the surrounding property or permitted uses. A single-family dwelling with an additional boathouse will not impede orderly development in this area. Existing docks and boathouses are prevalent in the general area. Adequate access roads on the site, loading, unloading, berths, and draining have been or will be provided where required. The proposed additional boathouse associated with the existing single-family dwelling will provide standard residential off-street parking. Adequate measures have been taken to provide egress to the property that are designed in a manner to minimize traffic impacts. The existing single-family dwelling sits at the end of a cul-de-sac and contains existing residential driveway which provides egress to the property. Adequate screening and buffering of the special use will be provided if needed. There's no buffering required. Everybody is residential to residential. The special use will not have signs or exterior lighting that will cause glare, adversely impact area traffic safety, or have negative impacts on the area. Any signs or exterior lighting required by a special use shall be incompatible with the development in the zoning district and shall, at a minimum, meet the requirements of Article 8. No lighting or signage have been requested. Any requests for lighting to the boathouse will adhere to the requirements of Division 9, Section 45-601 of the Land Development Code. There will be no undue risks to persons or property from hazardous substances. There are no known risks or hazardous substances associated with this type of development. The proposed special use will not adversely affect the general public, health, safety, welfare of the residents of Putnam County. Staff does not believe that the issuance of this special use will have an adverse effect on the general public, health, safety, or welfare of the residents of Putnam County. The conclusion in the recommendation, the applicant has requested that special use be allowed for an additional 540-foot square boathouse, which exceeds the one boathouse limit. The approved use meets the criteria of the special use permit. Staff recommends approval of the request subject to the following conditions. The maximum number of boathouses shall be limited to 2. All other features of the dock and boathouse will comply with Section 45-110-2 of the Land Development Code. Any lighting proposed in the future for the dock or boathouse must comply with Section 45-601 of the Land Development Code. All construction will comply with Florida Building Code and any Florida Department of Environmental Protection or U.S. Army Corps of Engineers permitting processes. Any questions?
Okay, I have a question on staff recommendation. It says that the special use permit is allowed for an additional 544 square boat. I thought it was 600.
The one that they're asking for is 544 square feet.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, any other questions for staff? If not, let's, before we hear from the applicant, do a site visit roll call.
Yes. Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Murphy, would you like to come up and say anything to the board? Please come to the podium. State your name and address for the record.
My name is Bruce Liddy, L-I-D-D-Y, and I live at 7625 A1A South, St. Augustine, Florida, 32080.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just didn't look at you. Okay.
That's okay.
Okay, whatever you want, the comments you want to make?
The only
or
comment I'm going
change
to make
anything?
is that we understand that this is a extra boathouse, We have positioned that house so that it is in line with their property and doesn't block the view of any other residents. That canal beside his lot affords us that ability to build the boathouse to the eastern side, northeastern side, rather than towards the other residential areas. And it's far enough back off of the canal so that the view from that other corner lot is not impeded as they view out over the river also.
Okay, so the boathouse is going to be more so in front, I mean, because I saw the other boathouse that's already there.
Right, it's, the one boathouse is directly in front, and since it's been built for so long, it basically is closer to the riparian setback than what we would have put it on, but that was built a long time ago. So we are going to the opposite side and keeping our riparian setback where it needs to be. Instead of going lengthwise like the owner wanted it, we said, no, we can only go perpendicular to come in rather than coming in alongside.
Okay.
So we made some concessions that he had to go with because we couldn't go wide like he wanted to. That would have blocked other people's view, and we don't do that.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
One question.
Yes, sir.
And I wasn't able to get through the gate, go down there and see this whole thing, but there's this houseboat, looks like it sticks about halfway out in the river. Is this new boathouse going to impede any vision of people coming out of the canal to look up and down the river?
Well, no more than what the initial boathouse that is already there will, because it's going to be the same depth as the other one. We're making it, that distance out is the same.
Okay.
So no more than any other docks that are already in existence would do. They'll have a pretty boat to look at, though.
Is that the pontoon? that's gonna go
No,
up?
it's he has some collectible boat that he, has to have covered.
Okay.
So I haven't seen it, but it's supposed to be very nice, so.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Liddy? Okay, thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, there's no one in the audience today, so I'm going to say, and wish anyone wishing to come forward and speak in favor and/or opposition. And since there's no one in the audience to do either, then at this time, we will close it to the public and open it up for board discussion and motion.
Madam Chairman, I move we approve special use permit 21-009, excuse me, as the request meets the criteria for special use permit required by section 45-1083 of the Putnam County Land Development Code with the 4 conditions recommended by staff, and authorize the chairman to sign the final order.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve special use permit 21-009. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, motion carries 6-0. Mr. Liddy, there is a 30-day appeal process, but nobody seemed to have any problems with it today. So if there's any issues, please work closely with staff, and I'm sure they'll be very accommodating. And good luck. Okay. Yes, sir. You're done. Thank you. Okay, has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes for September 15th, 2021? There's one correction that I would like to note on page 4 of 8. It says, Mrs. Roberts questioned if she was allowed to open the meeting, and it's Osborne. That's the only thing that I saw. Has everybody had a chance to read them? Have a motion?
Move they be approved as read with the correction that Ms. Osborne mentioned.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of September 15th, 2021. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Okay. And do we have any new business today or anything? Okay, I guess we,
Madam Chair, I'm sorry, my mic takes a minute to load. The only thing that I'd like to announce is that on the 23rd, which is this coming Tuesday, I believe, the comprehensive plan will be up for a vote for final adoption by the Board of County Commissioners. So anyone interested in reviewing the copy as amended can obtain a copy from our office or can attend the meeting. But that's the only announcement that I have.
okay, I didn't hear the last part.
or can attend the meeting,
Oh,
the BOCC meeting. But we're happy to sit down with any member who wishes to discuss the additional changes that were made to address comments from the Department of Economic Opportunity.
okay. Can we have a motion to adjourn then?
So moved.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we're out of here. Thanks.
Is this the shortest meeting on this?
No, we had another meeting.